Oil prices plunging tonight, and U.S. stock futures jumped after the U.S. and Iran agreed to a 2-week ceasefire that includes a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. A busy night. I'm glad you're with us tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden. In a social media post this afternoon, President Trump said the U.S. has received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believes it is a, quote, workable basis on which to negotiate. Now, the deal comes just hours after Trump issued an alarming threat that if Iran does not open the Strait of Hormuz, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. Deborah Seven's been closely following these developments, and tonight we are listening to concerns of Iranian-Americans in Colorado. Maggie Bryan spoke with the Iranian-American professor about this very fluid situation in the Middle East.
A Tuesday night deadline turning into a temporary ceasefire with Iran. In a post on Truth Social 30 minutes before his imposed deadline, President Donald Trump announced Iran has agreed to open the Strait of Hormuz, while the U.S. suspends attacks on Iran for 2 weeks. The president previously threatening, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, prompting a group of protesters outside the state capitol Tuesday afternoon.
Saying that you're going to wipe out an entire civilization for essentially no reason is just ridiculous.
There's no credit to this threat.
Alci Kobo, a veteran who was deployed to Afghanistan, says he's seen firsthand the impacts war has had on civilians and U.S. service members.
It has real-life consequences. We're looking at this as a game of Call of Duty.
In response to the president's threats toward Iran, Republican Congressman Jeff Hurd said, in part, a nuclear-armed Iran is not acceptable, and the United States must remain strong, clear-eyed, and prepared to act in defense of our interests. At the same time, actions of this magnitude carry real consequences. The use of American power demands clarity of purpose, discipline, and a defined objective.
Of course, it's been incredibly worrying, both as someone who has family in Iran and also as an American citizen.
We spoke with Marie Ranjbar, an Iranian-American and associate professor at CU Boulder, who researches Iranian social movements and U.S. foreign policy toward Iran. She says she has not heard from family members in Iran since the first week of the war because of internet blackouts in the country.
How do you interpret the news of this 2-week ceasefire?
A ceasefire is certainly welcome. I think we need to be very critical of this discourse that war will liberate Iranians, which is one of Trump's stated objectives. And certainly we can see from social media posts about annihilating an entire civilization that really does contradict this other discourse about standing in solidarity with Iranian people.
While President Trump says this long-term problem is close to resolution, Ranjbar is hoping negotiations include regional partners in the Middle East.
I think in order for this ceasefire to be meaningful, we really do have to have serious international actors at the table.
I'm Maggie Bryan, Denver 7.